Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for Catholic Central League Boys Soccer. St. Mary's off to a very good start. They lost a game in the city tournament, and they haven't lost since. They're 7-1-1, taking on Arlington Catholic. A little bit of a down year for Arlington Catholic. They won 5-3. We're underway. You haven't missed much. St. Mary's had one chance out in front, a pass out in front, and they tipped it, but it went over the net and out of play. And a little bit different than I finally realized after I finally woke up. Here at Manning Field, it's the visitors that wear the white uniforms. One of the games that Tech was playing, I thought we started a little bit late, automatically thinking Tech was the home team and they were wearing white, until I finally realized that here at Manning Field, the home teams wear the dark colors and the visitors wear the white. So it's Arlington Catholic, the Cougars, in the white uniforms. Off the corner kick, tipped away by Arlington Catholic. Yanni Valiotis is in net. Trying to say that 5 times fast for Arlington Catholic. Nicholas Pappas for the Spartans. And they got some Spartans scoring goals. Thongstafong has scored 11 goals this year. Ola George has 9. And Jackson Niccolo has 5. So he's spread it around a little bit. He tried to tip it back. Thongstafong knocks it ahead. George pushes it by, and he pushed it a little too far, and Arlington Catholic is going to get there first. They knock it away. Thongstafong comes back with it in the middle. They take the shot, couldn't get a lot on it, and it bounced in a couple of times, and Halidis was able to make the save. With a dark, cloudy day, it's a little bit easier to read the numbers. Not easy, but easier to read the St. Mary's numbers. They knock it down the far side. George kind of overran it, tipped it by, gets it back, gets around, and then he pushed it out of play. I think I said Thongstafong. I mixed up the numbers. De Oliveira is wearing 11. Thongstafong is 18. They were without De Oliveira for a while. Arlington Catholic kept it in, but overran it. St. Mary's takes it away. And they're going to knock it away and out of play. Working down the corner, trying to throw it in front. Arlington Catholic got a piece and knocked it out. And St. Mary's will get a corner kick. Not quite a corner kick. I guess they're calling a touch earlier because De Oliveira is going to kick this from a lot closer. Tipped and knocked in, and then tipped again and knocked home. The ball was tipped. It went right off the goaltender, and it came right back to St. Mary's, and they banged it home. And I believe it was Nolan Perez. So they got it out in front. They took a wicked hard shot, and it went right into the goaltender, Raliotis. He made the save, but then it came back, and I believe it was Perez that knocked it home. Trying to walk in, there's the shot, they got too much foot, knocked it up over everything out of play. So it was Nolan Perez that they announced. I said it would be a little bit easier to pick up the St. Mary's numbers in this overcast day without the sun. Still not easy. They don't have major numbers. They squeeze them in as best they can. Mary's gets it back. They drop it back. Trying to tip it ahead. Again, it's loose. Arlington Catholic steers it to the far side. St. Mary's gets it right back. Blocked and knocked away. And St. Mary's winds up with it again. Kick deep. Back. Knocked away by O'Brien as they almost gave that one away. They were trying to push it away. They almost pushed it to the net. And it was Eddie Lee that was trying to take advantage. Headed towards the net, headed again. Lee trying to knock it in front. Pumped it up and knocked it out. Good effort. Catholic got a head on it, but knocked it back toward their own net. Everybody just keep getting a head on it. Nobody can get control of it. Now St. Mary's finally does. Trying to knock it deep, it got blocked. Tip it. Coming down the far side. And he just lost it, rolled off his foot. Tip back to O'Brien. Perez dumps it ahead. St. Mary's on the move. Coming down the near side. Getting out in front. Shot got blocked nicely by the defender. They center it. Out in front. Arlington Catholic knocked it down. Knocked it away. O'Brien knocks it back to the Arlington Catholic end. Oliveira gets around, pops it straight up in the air and hit it too far. Got under it and knocked it way out of play to the far side. Vraliotis will kick it away. St. Mary's keeps it in. St. Mary's got knocked down. Niccolo gives it back to Perez. Couple of shifts, gets him in the middle. They bring it all the way around to the far side. Back to Mackey. To the near side to O'Brien. Deflected to Niccolo. Trying to turn and get around. It got blocked. He gets it back, throws it out in front. Shot. Nice pass, nice shot, nice save. Niccolo with a nice rush, threw it out in front, put it right on the spot. They made the nice shot, and Vraliotis made the nice save. Trying to knock it deep, deflected away. They knock it deep. Trying to turn it to the middle. They take the shot. It's going to go wide to the right side. Looked like it got deflected a little bit. Knocked away by the defense. Joshua Ches is going to get called for a little hip check, knocking Arlington down. Ches was the guy that took that pass from Niccolo and one-timed it. And Vraliotis made a very nice save. Arlington Council will get a free kick from the 45. Dan Sarsfield will take it. Knocked away. Chaz drops it back. Niccolo. St. Mary's knocks it deep. Pushed it in front, but then overran it. Back to Ches, and Arlington Castle will knock it out, and St. Mary's will get a corner kick. It looked like DiOlivero was going to break in alone, and he took an extra step, and he had to reach back. The ball was behind him. He gave it to Ches. The defense caught up and knocked it out. St. Mary's will get the corner kick. And he'll get another corner kick. This time they're going to have to kick it because Arlington is covering. Blocked and knocked away. They put it right in the middle of the net. And it's in the middle of the net again. They got a head on it. It's loose. They try to knock it down. Couldn't get the shot off. St. Mary's comes away with it. They, in a crowd of people, they couldn't get the head on it. Arlington Catholic will take it back the other way. Mackey steps in and takes it away with a rush. Pushing it down the far side, still in control, all the way down. Still has it, walking in, took the shot. It got blocked, and then it almost went off a defender. Great rush by Mackey. They threw it out in front. It hit a body. It went off one of the defenders. Vraliotis had to make a big-time save. It went off Sarsfield and almost into the net. Great rush by Mackey. The initial save was made. It got deflected sort of out in front, hit Sarsfield out in front, and he almost put it in his own net. Down the far side again, St. Mary's walking in, takes the shot, big time save again, and the header goes over the net. Two big opportunities for the Spartans. Vraliotis made a big-time save. All St. Mary's here in the early going. They push it ahead, walking in, not going to get there. They called them offside anyway. It was a race to try and beat the goaltender, but it didn't make any difference because the official ruled offside. Arlington Catholic knocks it out. The O's have been very busy in net for Arlington Catholic. O'Brien lets it go out. He got there before Sarsfield. Niccolo, back to Niccolo. Down the near side. Trying to get around. Dropped it back, tried to get it back to De Oliveira, and it went out. They pop it, and went out. They're going to call it off. Arlington Catholic. And St. Mary's going to get a corner kick. I think it's coming from the far side. Bobbled again, and again they get a big foot in, and that's O'Brien, I think, who came all the way in from playing that backside and just drilled it high over the net and out of play between the football uprights, but it was way out of play. Got a lot of foot into that one. They jump it ahead. Shot goes wide right. Nice bit of passing to get the shot off, but they couldn't get it on net. De Oliveira sliced it wide right. Halfway through and counting. This first half, 1-0 St. Mary's, and we're going to get St. Mary's for climbing her back, trying to get ahead on that long kick. Arlington Catholic will get the free kick. They haven't had it much in St. Mary's territory. Out off Arlington Catholic. Off the head of Toranzo. De Oliveira gets around a couple, finally gets knocked out by Colin Keane. And then Sarsfield knocks it out. O'Brien will take the throw-in for the Spartans. They tip it, and again, they shoot it high over the net and out of play. That was Ryan Freer with the shot. High bounce. Comes away with St. Mary's. The Catholic breaks it up and knocks it out of play. And they're calling it off St. Mary's. I guess I should let the officials officiate. They knock it deep, trying to walk in, hustling over. Defender knocking it away. I think that was Jamal Lawson. And we got a collision. Catholic trying to catch up, inadvertently tripped St. Mary's. St. Mary's will get the free kick. Just outside the 30-yard line from a tough angle. They knock it to the net, and St. Mary's can't keep it in. It goes by, wide right, and out of play. We'll have a substitution for the Spartans. Off a few heads. The Catholic trying to control, they can. St. Mary's gets it back. Freer with it. Back to O'Brien. Looking for Perez. Trying to dump it ahead. It got deflected by Keane and knocked out. And knocked out again. And St. Mary's going to get a corner kick. Again, coming from the near side. A bullet out in front. St. Mary's trying to knock it down. Arlington Catholic takes it away. They finally get it into St. Mary's territory. It hasn't been there much. They knock it deep. Pappas was coming out, but they let it go through. O'Brien knocked it out before it could get to Pappas. 15 minutes and counting in this first half. 1-0 St. Mary's. St. Mary's heads it away. Knocked away. O'Brien knocked it off. Arlington Catholic. And gets knocked out. They knock it deep. They call St. Mary's offside. All the way through to Mackey. Gets headed by Arlington Catholic out in front. Couldn't get a shot off. It was going to go wide. Pappas made the save. It was going wide. He jumped on it. Left a little bit of a rebound. And before Eddie Lee could get there, he jumped on it, grabbed it, and booted it away. That was not a shot on net. That was going to go wide. And he made it a little more exciting just by trying to get it and not fielding it cleanly. George has it knocked away. And Lee knocks it out of play. O'Brien with the throw in quickly to Perez. George walking in, out in front. It got by everybody. Arlington Catholic pushed it upfield. St. Mary's keeps it there. Tip. Arlington Catholic knocks it deep all the way back to Mackey. They knocked it off Arlington Catholic. And we had a whistle for some reason. I'm not sure what the whistle was for. I guess they're going to make a substitution. St. Mary's took it in very quickly. The referee was going to give the substitution, so he blew the whistle and said, bring it back, take it over again. Trying to get around the defense, Arlington Catholic knocked it out of play. Mackey, his pass picked off. Blocked. Arlington Catholic knocks it away. St. Mary's gets it back. Coming down that far side. Arlington takes it away. And then they lost it out of bounds. St. Mary's took it like they're going to throw it in bounds. The official blows the whistle, says, no, it's going the other way. Arlington Catholic ball, the Cougars will throw it in. So right now, the last couple of minutes have been very inactive. Somebody got a hand on it or bump somebody because St. Mary's is going to get a free kick from about the 45-yard line. Perez knocks it towards the net, deflected. And they get the shot off, and they knock it well wide and behind the net and out of play. Arlington Catholic will make a couple of substitutions with 10 minutes and counting left in this first half. St. Mary's leading at 1-0. They've been all around the net. They've got all kinds of shots. And every time they shoot it, with the one exception by Perez, they've knocked it either into the goaltender or over the net. And even the goal they scored, the first shot got knocked off the goaltender. It was hit hard enough that it deflected off the goaltender, and Perez was able to knock it home. Pappas comes out between his two defenders, O'Brien and Mackey, and kicks it away. Perez broken up. Freya knocks it back. O'Brien gets it ahead to De Oliveira. Back to Perez. They knock it deep. They were looking for George. It gets knocked out of play. Nice little shift, trying to throw it in front. Defense is there to knock it away. St. Mary's lets it go out. De Oliveira with the throw-in gets it back. Trying to get it to the net, and it got blocked by John Casey. Substitutions for both teams. Headed close. St. Mary's Perez knocks it away. Tip to the middle. Coming to the near side. And they try to throw it to the far side. St. Mary's Perez knocks it away and takes it away. And dumps it upfield. And it gets deflected. St. Mary's winds up trying to go between two defenders, wound up getting tripped and went down. And Miss Gagnon, Nicole coming out to check on the player. We hope it's just a cramp and nothing else. So I still didn't get the number of the young man going out, but he's walking out by himself, so hopefully everything is fine. Ray Leotis gets a piece of it and tipped it up over everything out of place. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. This time it'll come from the far side. The ground ball is knocked solidly away by Lambert Nyembo. St. Mary's will get the throw in right into the Arlington Catholic bench is where it went. Tipped a couple of times yet again. O'Brien broke it up. Perez from long range. It was bouncing up maybe around knee high. He just pulled it wide left and out of play. St. Mary's with a short bench, they only have 4 substitutions. Knock to the middle. O'Brien knocks it ahead. St. Mary's knocks it deep. They got a break. Goaltender comes out, and they took a shot on the fly and knocked it right in to Vravalides. Nice lead pass. I think they thought they had to get rid of that shot a little bit quicker. Now they're coming back. Here comes De Oliveira. He pushed it a little too far, and it's going to get knocked out of play by the defense of Arlington Catholic. He had a break, and coming up, he was going very quick, a little too quick, because when he knocked it ahead, he knocked it too far. And Arlington Catholic was able to knock it out of play before he could get a shot. Walking in, they throw it in front, and it's headed in. They didn't use the corner kick. They threw it to a side, and they walked in and threw it out in front, and they were able to get a head on it, knock it in. A very pretty goal. Arlington didn't cover them out there. And that's De Oliveira. Instead of using the corner kick and kicking it to the net, they had 2 guys out there. They tipped it back, and then walked right in. And they almost walked in there. There's a shot, but it's going to go wide left. And De Oliveira was out in front. And I said number 11. They gave it to number 17. So it was Kevin Perez, the other half of the Perez family, knocking it home. Freer battling for it, takes it away. And then they knock it out off Freer. Perez bumps it ahead. They tried a little give and go, and getting there first was Jamal Lawson, knocking it away. Good effort. Nice little give and go by St. Mary's, but good defense by Jamal Lawson. St. Mary's will get another corner kick, and this time Arlington Catholic is going to cover the second man out there. And they still don't take it. They walk in, and they tipped it up over the net looking for that far corner. So again, they try to make a play with a twosome out in the corner with the pass and the shot, trying to get a little better angle. And they got it on net, but they got it up too high on net. We're in the final 2 minutes and counting. St. Mary's leading it 2-0. They got one early and they just got one late. Arlington Catholic hasn't come really close to Pappas. He made one save that was going wide, left a rebound, and just took it away from Eddie Lee to try to get to it. But it's been all St. Mary's. Mackey knocks it back. St. Mary's collects. They knock it deep, looking for a break. Coming all the way out is Vraliotis. I said to the Arlington Catholic coach, when he handed me the roster, I said, is this the goaltender? He said, yeah. I said, well, fine. It couldn't be Smith or Jones or Brown. St. Mary's just kept it in, and now it goes out. And it went out off Montana Herstack. Oh, they named their kid after the state of Montana. Tried to knock it ahead. It got blocked. Now they jump it to the middle. Bump from behind. Nice job by Niembo. Just gave a little bump, and that allowed him to tip the ball away from a would-be shooter. I don't think this is the deepest they've been in a long time. And they get a shot again, going wide, not on net. But there was an Arlington Catholic player bearing down that might have got a piece of it. Pappas come out and grabbed it. And we've reached the end of the first half. So a goal early, a goal late. The Perez family leading the way for St. Mary's. Nolan and Kevin both getting goals. St. Mary's halfway to their 8th win as they lead Arlington Catholic 2-0 at halftime. Welcome back to Manning Field as we're set to start the second half. The Perez family, Nolan and Kevin, leading the way. They both scored, one early, Nolan, one late, Kevin. And that's where we are, 2-0. St. Mary's as we're set to start the second half. St. Mary's on their way to their 8th win. If they do, they'll be 3 points shy. They'll be just about at the halfway mark and only 3 points shy of a tournament berth. They'll have 17 points. You need 20 when you play 20 games. St. Mary's brings it down deep. And Arlington Catholic will knock it out. I was trying to figure out who number 12 was. I didn't think he had him on the roster, but headed in It got headed once, and then it got headed the second time. The first one tipped it out in front from the right side. It went to the left side, and St. Mary's was there to head it in. And I wait for him to turn around so I can get his number. That might be Nolan. Yep. Yep. And it is. It's Kevin Perez again. So they're still keeping it in the family. So the score jumps to 3-0. It might have been Old George, but there was somebody on the far post, and they had it in the net. A perfect kick and a perfect header knocked it home. They put it right on the corner, and they headed it home. Niccolo, I believe. And I mentioned he had 5 goals coming in. He's got 6 now. But the headers paid off certainly for St. Mary's. Absolute perfect pass from about the 25 or between the 25 and 30 yard line. It went right to the far post. There were 2 players out in front. And Jackson Niccolo was the one closest to the far post, and he got a head on it and knocked it home. But a perfect kick. Everybody was following the ball, and then we saw Niccolo tip it home, and everybody's assuming the same thing. We're assuming that it was Ola George who made that perfect kick. It was headed up in the top corner, and there was Niccolo out in front, and he's got a head on it, and Valiotis had no chance. So they get 2 in the first half. They get 2 very quickly in the second half. And they're looking for more as they pop it in front. And they got another head on it, but popped it over the net and out of play. I think that was Kevin Nguyen again looking for a hat trick. From long range, Perez got all of it and got too much of it and booted high and wide and deep and almost kicked it out of the park. And St. Mary's is right back in it. They dominated the first half, and they're dominating the early part here. Shot, great save. That was ticketed for the far post, going in. And a big-time save by Raviolis. I think that was Thongstaphong. Big-time shot and a big-time save. Now they hit it in, but it's not going to count. They blew the whistle for some reason. They're going to do it over again. Coming from the near side. It hit the top crossbar. They hit a ground ball, and it's knocked away by Arlington Catholic. The corner kick actually slid across the top crossbar and almost went in the net. They knock it deep, and they're not going to get there before it goes out. Not from lack of effort, that's for sure. Oliveira looking for it. Winds up with it. Pass trying to walk in. Takes the shot. Right on net. Slapped and knocked down, but can't hold on the rebound. And there's George. Raviolis tipped it. Couldn't go get the rebound. George picked it up, stepped back, and from a tough angle, drilled it over the goaltender's head, just under the top crossbar to the far corner. And St. Mary's gets 3 very quick goals. We haven't played 7 minutes in this second half. And all of a sudden, it's 5-0 St. Mary's. The Catholic hasn't been close to getting a shot on net. Mackey knocks it away. They knock it deep. St. Mary's down deep again. It gets blocked. And Arlington Catholic knocks it out. St. Mary's reached in and got a foot on it, trying to tip it in front. They knocked it out. Arlington Catholic will kick it away. So we hadn't played 7 minutes, about 6.5 minutes. St. Mary's put 3 on the board. And they've come a long way since going 1-1 in the Lynn City series. They lost the first game, I believe, to Classical. Well, Brian knocks it back the other way. De Oliveira. His pass broken up. Tip, but tip right to George. He tried to give it back to Thongstaphong. Hustling and breaking up and getting the ball back. And they get knocked out by Arlington Catholic. St. Mary's just keeping pressure on. Arlington Catholic knocks it out. That's John Casey knocking it out. They tip it to Perez. Shoots it to the net. And looking to get a foot on it. I think that was Thongstafong. He got a foot on it, but it was up around almost waist high. And it just tipped off his foot and went wide and out of play. And it was De Oliveira. St. Mary's takes it away. They knock it deep. And Arlington Catholic will knock it out. Perez took it away. Little give and go. They push it to the far side, trying to throw it in front. It got blocked by Arlington Catholic, and St. Mary's will get a corner kick. They just use everybody. They move the ball around. They make the defense work. And they wind up giving themselves some great scoring opportunity. They had another one there. Another header that just went wide, and then it deflected off Arlington Catholic and missed the net. Thongstafong gave it to Perez. Perez gave it back. Thongstafong, nice little pooch kick, got under it just enough to lift it up over everything and out of play. St. Mary's will make some substitutions. They can't make many. They only have 4 subs. Arlington Catholic made contact with it. St. Mary's going to get a free kick. They put it in play. They give it to Perez. He drills it to the net. Valiotis makes the save and throws it upfield. Gets it to Niembo. They give it back. He's on the fly. Still with it. Slips it through and can't get through defenders, and he's not happy. He got squashed between 2 defenders and couldn't get through them. And he looked back at the official saying, "Why aren't you calling it?" And it wasn't really anything to call. They just made a little bit of a sandwich out of him, but he just couldn't split between the 2 of them. They didn't knock him down. They didn't do anything unlawful. They just didn't let him go between the 2 of them to go get the ball. He made a great rush up to that point. Knocked down by Nguyen. Tipped away, Niccolo. Pass a little bit behind the intended receiver. Arlington Catholic takes it away. St. Mary's takes it back. They knock it back to the goaltender to kick away. Gets it upfield to Grandy. And Arlington Catholic will knock it out of play. They hustle and keep it in, now they knock it out. Yeah, they knock it out again. St. Mary's collects, Arlington breaks it up. They knock it deep. Mackey will track it down. And St. Mary's will start it back again. Mackey's pass picked off by Niembo. They break it up. Perez winds up with it. And Arlington Catholic stopped because they thought the ball was out and stayed in. Then he tried to go get it, and they couldn't get it and went out of play. So nothing really going right for Arlington Catholic. They haven't ventured very deep on the other side of the 50-yard line, St. Mary's side. Not a lot in the second half, and not very much in the first half either. Perez with a rush. Still with it. Still coming down. Throws it in front, and they knock it home. Great rush by Perez. They let him keep going. He walked in. I think that's Nicolo's second. He was out in front again. Raliotis had no chance whatsoever. Nicolo gets his second. Great rush by Perez down the near side. He just kept getting away. They let him go. Down deep, he threw it out in front. Great pass, and Nicolo banged it home. De Oliveira to Nicolo. They knock it ahead. They knock it deep. And they call St. Mary's offside. They gave the goal to Nolan Perez, but it was Perez with the rush, and it was Nicolo who knocked it in. The officials missed that one. They gave the goal to Perez. He was the guy that made the rush down the near side, and Nicolo was out in front knocking it home. So Nicolo has 2. Kevin Perez has 2. Nolan Perez has a goal and assist. And George has a goal. As the kick goes out of play, over and beyond the net. as we get just over 21 minutes left in the second half. St. Mary's running away with this one, 6-0 over Arlington Catholic. We have a timeout down the field. Kick is away, clock is running, and the only thing left now is what the final score is going to be, because Arlington Catholic certainly is not going to score 6 goals. They won't get 6 shots on net, never mind 6 goals. They haven't got a shot on net yet. Oliveira coming downfield. Throws it across, walking in wide open, and they missed the net. Great pass by Oliveira. They walked in on the goaltender and didn't knock it over the net. They knocked it wide of the net. And that's a pretty good goal scorer doing that. I think that was Thongstefong. He can't believe he did that. Now I'm looking, that might have been Gallego, the backup goaltender. I think it's 12 rather than 18. Either way, wide open. What a tremendous pass by Oliveira. Out in front by himself. And didn't get it on net. Wasn't that the goaltender robbed him or anything else. Young couldn't keep it in. He missed the net to the right. And he just kind of hit his face with his shirt after that. Let there be light here at Manning Field as the lights go on. They knock it deep. Gallego's out in front again, and they call him offside. Past the halfway mark. 1 minute past the halfway mark of this second half. St. Mary's leading 2-0 at the end of the first half. Scored 3 goals, and we hadn't played 3 minutes. And then they get another one to make it 6-0. And Arlington Catholic hasn't come close to Pappas, and it may not be Pappas in net anymore. They may have changed that as well. That would have been a shot on net, but it got blocked. Pass goes by. Arlington Catholic will hustle and keep it in. And then it got knocked out, and it went out off Arlington Catholic. Nguyen shot. Didn't get to the net. It stayed out to the near side and went out of play. So I guess they tell me it's still Pappas in net. Of course, they don't have that many subs. One of the backup goaltenders is out on the field playing up front. They only have 4 substitutions. Usually St. Mary's has an army. Games like this where, not to downgrade Arlington Catholic, but they only had 1 win coming in. Usually Mike D'Agostino will bring a lot of the JV players, and he'll, dress a lot of people for this game. Shot, knocked down. That was Nguyen with the shot. Ray Leotis with the save. So even against a lot of the backups, Arlington Catholic can't get anything going offensively. Catholic knocks it out of play. They move O'Brien from a defender, put him up front. And Arlington takes it away. O'Brien takes it away from them. Trying to walk in. They slipped it across. Toranzo and Gallego using a little give and go. And went a little too far, and the goaltender was to make a play. So Brian doesn't get to play up front much, but he's up front now. Trying to walk in, still with it, finally took it away. Upfield, I think it's George playing the center field spot now on defense. O'Brien takes it away, gets taken away by Grandy. Pop in the air. Sarsfield just takes down Toranzo. George's pass is picked off. Blocked. George knocks it away. Knocked deep. And Arlington Catholic will knock it into the St. Mary's bench area. St. Mary's will make a few more changes. Taken away by St. Mary's. Tipping it. Trying to walk in. St. Mary's keeping it in. Trying to get a shot off. O'Brien knocks it out in front, deflected back. St. Mary's again on the attack. Even with the regular seeing this one out. St. Mary's got a head on it and knocked it wide. I think that was O'Brien. St. Mary's collects. Mackey has moved up front. Bodies go down. They take the shot. They nail it right into the middle of the net. Out of play. Nicholas Pappas in net for St. Mary's. You heard me say this many times. He could have bought a ticket for this one. They haven't come close to him in net. And everything going wrong. They had it, they slipped and fell. They saved it, and then slipped and fell and went out of bounds. And St. Mary's coming back. And St. Mary's is offside. Popped up, knocked away. George knocks it deep. He gets headed toward the net. Bodies go down, and they knock it home. George sent the long pass. It got deflected, and as they were going, the defender went down, and St. Mary's wound up going in all alone, and they nail it, and the backups get on the board. It's been a long stretch for the Cougars. They gave that goal to number 16, Matt Conley. They throw it out in front. Here's the shot. And that's O'Brien, I think. He was sitting on the doorstep all by himself. And he banged it home. He plays defense all the time. With the score, they let him play up front. And a pass came from the far side, sitting on the doorstep all by himself. He just banged it home. A 6-goal second half. And Arlington Catholic is just shaking their heads and saying, run the clock and let's start going back to Arlington. And if things are going well, Arlington's probably going to run into a roadblock or traffic situation or something going back to Arlington and have taken a long time to get home because everything else is going wrong. I don't know if the backup goaltender Gallego thought he was going to play this much in the field. They try to get a shot off. Pappas out, slides, dives on it. They couldn't get the shot off. They get by the defense, and then the defense breaks it up. They tip it by. Catholic gets there and kicks it almost out of the ballpark. They kicked it way up in the stands. Soccer ball is about sitting about 12 rows up in the stands on the other side. as Arlington Catholic knocks it out of play. Not an easy time for the Cougars, we told. They only had one win coming in. And they're just, even though they're right about at their halfway mark, they're just playing out the string because they have no chance of making the playoffs. It was close for a while. St. Mary's got a goal early and a goal late by the Perez family. They kept it in the family to start a very quick hat trick. 3 straight goals in the second half in a very quick span of time. They kept it in the Perez family with, after Nolan got the first and Kevin got the second in the first half. Kevin got his second goal to start the second half. And then it was Niccolo and then George. And then Niccolo again off a great feed and a great rush by Nolan Perez. And then Matt Conley and Aiden O'Brien. And that's where we are. 8-0 St. Mary's as Nguyen kicks it ahead. And Nguyen keeps it in play. Trying to walk in. And they break it up and take it away and knock it out of play. Oliveira knocks it ahead. Circling, trying to walk in. Nice save. Ray Leonis in a sitting down position blocked the near post and made the save. And St. Mary's knocked it out. So Arlington Catholic will get to kick it away. So the only decisions Mike D'Agostino had to make coaching this game was who do we put in the game and where do we put them, and Arlington Catholic put it in play, but I guess the official didn't like the way they did it. So we're going to do it again. And even with the regulars out, Arlington Catholic can't get it in the St. Mary's end. Arlington Catholic gets knocked down fighting for that one. They'll get a free kick. And they haven't come close to getting a shot on net. They sneak it in St. Mary's territory, and St. Mary's takes it away. And they push it away. O'Brien with a rush down the near side. And he was going to spin and try to cut back. Getting there first was Jamal Lawson knocking it out of play. Oliveira will put it in play. Gets it back. Pops it in the air toward the net. They missed the header. They were trying to knock it home. It might have been LeBron. They put a lot of their guys, Mackey and O'Brien, LeBron, the back end of that defense, they put them up front here for a lot of this second half. And St. Mary's coming right back. They throw it out in front, and making the catch is Vraliotis. St. Mary's knocks it into the bench here, right into the lap of Coach D'Agostino. Headed away, and right back in the Arlington Catholic end, where it's been. Arlington Catholic must feel like they're running uphill, and a steep hill at that, trying to get it into the St. Mary's end, and even trying to get a shot on net. We're in the final 2 minutes and counting.